Hi, and welcome to CMPB Speakers for Schools programme. Today, I'm going to be chatting to Adam, who's the General Manager at the Aviator Hotel in Farnborough. So, hi, Adam.
Hi, Rachel. How are you?
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today. So, Adam, let's find out, first of all, what you do for a job. So, what does the General Manager of the Aviator Hotel do?
Right. So I'm ultimately responsible for the running of the business. Top line, it means that we run a business that makes £10 million a year. And we have around 160 people working for us. We probably look after 200,000 people throughout the year. People who stay with us, come for weddings, join the parties, etc. Yeah, I think it's in summary what we do.
Yeah, and it's such an amazing place. I mean, we all drive past it. It's such an amazing hotel. It must be a fantastic place to work.
Well, I think it's an amazing place to work. It's probably the best hotel I've ever worked in my life. So the hotel is stunning. It's, you know, from the outside, when you drive past, it just looks like ordinary office space, right? It's only when you fly into Farnborough on your private jet, which I haven't done so far, you can see from the top that the building is made in the shape of a propeller. So it's little things like this that adds a character. Once you come inside and you see the beautiful, lobby, you just realize how much quality there is in the place. So, it's a great place to work.
Wow, amazing. And so then tell us how you got to that position. So going back to when you left school, how did you get to become the General Manager at the Aviator?
Right. So I think, it was a long journey, and as a teenager, when it was down for me to make a decision where I'm going to go and study, I think it's really tough when you were 16, 17, 18 to figure out what is it that you want to do in life, right? At the time, influenced by my parents, I thought that I'm going to be a psychologist, and I don't know why now. I can't recall. I think possibly because I was watching movies and I thought that therapists make a lot of money. You just listen to someone talking and you charge them a lot. So so I've committed 6 years of my life to that. I've had a master's degree and finished school, and it's only realized at the end that it's not a job for me, right? So 6 years of education. It was great. University is fantastic. I recommend everyone to go. Best years of my life. But at the very end, I found out that listening to for 8 hours a day to people's problems, it's not necessarily the job I imagined, right? It's the reality of this hit me, and it's difficult. It's so hard to figure out, what is that you want to do when you're 17, 18, 19, right? It just wasn't my call. So my parents were not excited when I told them, like, look, I'm just going to go traveling, and I don't want to do this. So went traveling and pick up jobs on the way, and ended up working for hospitality in the hotels and the bars and the restaurants, and I found that I loved it. Along of those jobs, I started education in hospitality and did a variety of courses, including a great diploma from Cranfield University. And I've worked in so many places. I started in London. I've worked for a great company. I ended up opening hotels for Sochi Olympics in Russia. I was in Dubai. I worked in Armenia and came back to UK again. So I've seen a lot of great places. I've worked with a lot of people, and fell in love in hospitality because it's not a popular choice for a lot of people. But in the end, when I've stripped it down to what this job is about, my job and all the job working here is to make people happy, right? That's all we do, is to make people happy and make them feel good. And so it's amazing, right? Every day people come here to work. Hospitality, in a nutshell, is to be friendly to strangers and to make them happy. And so I think 15, 20 years later, just working my way through the ranks and learning along the way, I end up working here, and it's an amazing place to work. I love every second. I've been here 5 years, and it's great.
Wow, thank you for sharing that. That's such an amazing story to think, you started out doing a master's in psychology, and you just decided you didn't want to do it, and then you're now doing something that you absolutely love in a sector that you absolutely love, and that's allowed you to travel as well, which is what you've. I mean, that must have been amazing to work in Dubai and to work in those places.
Traveling is an amazing part of the job, right? So people don't realize this, but in hospitality, when you work for big chains as well. So I worked for a company called Hyatt and started in central London in Marble Arch, amazing hotel, and they've allowed me to transfer from place to place. And it was amazing, working a year in Russia to open the hotel for Sochi Olympics. It was an incredible experience. And it's such an eye-opener. You just work in those different countries with different cultures and you meet different people. It just broadens your perspective on life, right? You just end up being a richer person.
Yeah.
And just probably the best thing about the job, meeting people from different cultures.
And so going back to when you decided to sort of start in the hospitality industry, you said you just sort of started working in bars and things like that when you were traveling, and then you did some more just some more studying on that. But did you, when you first, you literally worked your way up from the ranks, like you said?
I just decided to quit my job and go traveling, and I came to London, and it was easy for me to pick up a job in the restaurant.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm just gonna travel and make some money and meet some people and party for a year. Really, this was the plan. To take sort of a gap year again and just restart and decide what I want to do in life. And I just found myself enjoying the job. Every day is different. Every day you meet different people.
Yeah.
And after a year, I decided I want to learn about wines, and I started doing the course of how to be a sommelier, and I started learning, and I got promoted. I got another job. I found I've met different people, and like it just happened, right? I just I didn't expect it, and after a few years, I've just realized like this is just an amazing job. I've changed a few jobs, traveled a few countries, and never looked back.
Yeah. Fantastic. And what do you think's then been your biggest challenge in your career so far?
I think the biggest challenge was for me when it's the first time when I went to Russia and I had to adapt really quickly to completely different environment. That was different to anything I've seen before. I think in hindsight, I realize now that adaptability is a key skill you need to have in order to succeed in life. It's critical. And there, Russia is a state of mind. It's a different place. And I really have to, the learning curve was steep. And I had family with me, my wife and my son was like 3 months old. So, it was a difficult time. And getting ready for Olympics was just hectic. There was so many things happening at the same time. And in the end, it was really rewarding experience. And it's those things that, getting out of your comfort zone really pushes you. And again, makes you, broadens your experience and perspective on things, right? It just makes you a better professional and a better person as well.
Yeah, that must have been amazing. Yeah, from working in hospitality in this country, then to go to Russia, you got the pressure of the Olympics and everything on there. Fantastic, but extremely rewarding.
When I arrived, I had my FSB assigned person, sort of former KGB agent who, every foreigner had one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
wow.
They have someone who keeps an eye on you, and yeah, it was positive. They just said, look, don't complain about Putin or the politics, and you'll be fine. So I stuck to the advice.
So what's that? The FSB, is it?
So yes, it's sort of it's the rebranded KGB from the old times.
Right. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. So that was interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. And what does your future hold, do you think? What do you see? You say you love working at the Aviator. It's an amazing place. And obviously, do you have any plans for the future?
Not really. I think I became a GM last year. And And it's a great challenge for me. I've not done this before. At the moment, I'm really busy trying to make an amazing place to work for people. We work for a really good company as a group. The Aviator and the airport is a fantastic business. And there's so much to be done, right? And the next thing on the agenda now is all of us have seen here recently this movie Seaspiracy. I don't know if you've seen it, about how we are decimating the oceans.
Yeah.
And so I've stopped eating fish after this. I can't do it. And we're trying to look at how we can make a difference here as a hospitality, where it's expected of us to be serving fish to the customers in the restaurant, right? How do we make it sustainable? How do we run the business in a sustainable way that preserve the resources for my children and for the future generation? Right? It's not easy.
Yeah.
Finding the way to meet the demands for our clients and running the business in a sustainable way, it's challenging, but it can be done.
Yeah, and it's so important, isn't it, at the minute?
There's so many things happening at the moment. The airport is looking now at introducing sustainable air fuel, something that it's amazing. Now we used to seeing all those electric cars on the road.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of years when they will start prototyping the first electric planes. So it's great times to be living in.
Yeah, no, amazing. And do you have any final bits of advice then for any school-age students just sort of starting their career journey and making their choices?
Yeah, it's really tough, I think, to make those choices early in your life, right? You are being asked when you're 16, 17 or 18, what is it that you want to do? And you probably asked to commit many years of your life to further studying in university or college and choosing who you want to be in your life. And you're just not always going to get it right. It's very, very difficult to get it right when you're that young. I think, my advice would be that whatever you do in your life, like apply yourself to it, right? And just do your best. When we have the leadership courses here, and if you want to be successful in life, just do your best every day. Have a great work ethic. Come to work before time. Do your best every day and apply yourself, and things will happen to you in life. In a positive way. Like that happened to me, and a majority of success stories in my company is, the best talent you can have is to work hard, right? I don't think a lot of people are born with amazing talents. Working hard is the best talent you can have. Every day, just work hard and you will achieve things. I think it's as simple as this.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you. And thank you so much for your time today. I've absolutely loved hearing about your career journey. So thank you very much, Adam. Thank you.